Welcome to the Coach Launch podcast today. Ladies and gentlemen, today's guest, Dr. Adaeze Cosmos, a keynote speaker and specialist optometrist, coach, and CEO of ACN Academy UK Limited. Dr. Cosmos, so good to have you here today.
Thank you, Matthew, for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, she is passionate about helping professionals break free from the income limitations by turning their expertise into profitable online coaching businesses. With over 2 decades of professional experience and years of mentoring and coaching professionals internationally, Dr. Cosmos helps healthcare professionals add an extra £10,000 a month on top of their clinical salary in 90 days without extra shifts or private practice costs. How cool is that? She is the creator of the Wealth Beyond Walls framework, a unique approach designed to help healthcare professionals build additional income streams and position themselves as authorities without quitting their current careers. She is known for simplifying complex ideas into practical, actionable frameworks that help people move from confusion to clarity. Dr. Cosmos is a leading consultant in the marketing space. Her skills and advice are highly sought after, and she charges as much as $5,000 just for one coaching session to high-value clients. And people pay her because she gets results. Dr. Cosmos, it's so good to have you here. Could you tell me a little bit about who you are and what you're up to?
Yes, thank you so much, Matthew. Really excited to share. So, one thing that I've noticed over time working with amazing professionals that are so highly skilled in their field is that they seem to feel that they don't have anything else to offer outside the consulting room, outside their 9 to 5. And so you see them going into this cycle of long term shifts. They have dreams, which is certain, but they just don't know how to sort it out. I remember having a chat with one highly leveled clinician, and one thing she said to me is, I don't have time to go back and get a certification to do this thing you're talking about. And I said to her, no, you don't need certifications in this field. Why? Because your expertise is the certification, it's the transformation that you're going to be giving to your clients. Then one other thing I find as well is if I've had a chat with so many of them, 80 to 90% of them always talk about time. Time.
Wow.
But one thing is sure is yes, they're really busy because they're seeing their patients, they're working these long hours at work, but you only allocate time for what is important to you. And so if you don't begin to talk about where am I going to be in the next 5 years? What's my life going to look like? Am I really going to have my dream life? You can have it, but are you going to begin to prioritize time for yourself? And for that you really want to do for yourself and even for the world at large. That's why I love what I do. And we're able to bring them out from that sort of thought pattern into something that is so meaningful, both to themselves and to the society at large.
Oh, that's so true. And time is such an important thing, right? And I love what you just said there about this, where you're going to be in the next 5 years, 10 years, because we get so caught up busy doing stuff, but instead of working smarter, we're trying to work harder, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that today we're going to talk a little bit about working smarter,
Yep.
right? So tell me, I'm really excited and interested to dive into what you do and how you're helping people, because you have a very specific set of people that you help, and it's healthcare
Mm.
professionals, and helping them break free or create extra income, quite a bit of good extra
Mm.
income, while still keeping their jobs. I've got this really important question I have for you. Like, what inspired you to get started? How did this all come to be?
Right. Thank you so much for that question. So, now, just like the professionals I've talked about here, about working long hours, not having the time for anything else, that was me. A few years ago, I used to work.
Wow.
Actually, I took my work from 5 days a week to 6 days a week. That's where we talk about the extra shift. And I was working these long hours, and then I decided to even to go locum, which means I would travel really far away, 50 miles, 60 miles, just for work. And it was bringing in good income. Things were working fine. Everything was okay. Not until We were just, it was a normal evening, and then my husband's phone rang, and it was the nurse in the accident and emergency here in the UK. And they said to him, do not drive, but you need to report to A&E right now because your kidneys has failed. Now, there was a moment of, oh my gosh, we didn't have any savings at all. We have 4 children. So he had to take a cab to the hospital anyway because he wasn't allowed to drive. It was really late in the night. And at that point, I began to see that my income, relying on me going into the consulting room and then traveling far and wide, was no longer feasible. Why? Because, yes, bills needed to be paid. My husband was now under the hospital care, going through operations to start dialysis for the kidney, but we have 4 children and they're well below 16 at that time. So they needed mom or dad. My husband needed
Yes.
his wife to be by his side. But that was when I began to think, I began to pray, Lord, what next? And then, you start looking online. We all do. We start looking online. What do I do? Then this multiple streams of income. I bet you that I've been seeing it before now. Before that time, it never made any meaning to me. But at that point, it did. And I started looking, and then this lady then popped up and she said, you're a professional and you've been helping people with the knowledge that you have, and you're not being paid for it. It caught my attention because at that time I had been helping international professionals settle in the UK into new careers and all, long hours without being paid for it. And that was when I went into the coaching space and I learned some secret sauce. And what did that do for me? At that time, I had mom guilt. I had wife guilt. Mom guilt, like, am I supposed to be with the children rather than leaving them for a minder or keeping them in school from morning till 6 p.m.? Wife guilt. Am I supposed to be nursing my husband or going out for the money? I was torn between these two things. But then she helped me understand how and showed me this secret sauce. And then I began to do the same. Now, what did that do for me? Number one, I stopped all the long travels. And gradually, I started dropping days from the clinic. I was more present at home. And I remember my second son said to me, Mom, we're seeing you around a lot. Aren't you going to work today? I was then able to be present with my husband, present with my children, and the bills were comfortably paid. For me, that was big. That was amazing. That was like, oh my gosh, how come I haven't seen this up until that time? And so that's how we started.
I love that. And that's incredible. I got goosebumps thinking about this, right? That your story is amazing. It's being able to spend time with your family, right? You're able to remove a lot of stress, the travel, going away for long journeys, being away from your family, to shifting that to literally dropping shifts and making more
Mm.
money. So, Dr. Cosmos, thank you for sharing that. And so, I have this really important next question that I would really like to know about this, and it's tell me, what is this all about? What is this process? How does this come to be?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. You know how, as a healthcare professional, well experienced, you have known one thing for so many years. And even though that profession, job, is not really serving you, in that in the beginning, it was more like oh, I can't wait to get this job. I can't wait to have this promotion. And then after a while of being in that space, you hit the income ceiling and the professional ceiling, the promotion ceiling, where the job that you once celebrated is no longer motivating you from the inside. Then you then get to the level where there's so much grind, the long shift, the monotony of the work. And then you look at your bank account even at the end of the month, and as it's coming in, direct debits are flowing out. Like literally before the 10th of the month, there's almost, okay, where's that credit card? Where's that overdraft? That sort of thing. And then you look at yourself and think, from the amount of expertise that I have, even the experience I've been through over these years, I know certain that I'm called for more, certain. And then maybe you look online and you can see people that seem to be not as experienced as you are, but they seem to be doing all these amazing things. And you're thinking, how come? But then there's this thought about, at this time of my life, I can't be starting something new. Actually, I'm going to meet my employer because this is something that was spoiling in me. Like, I'm going to meet my employer. I need a raise. And then you just begin to wonder, when they give you the raise, Mr. Taxmaster is going to take a big chunk of it. So little or nothing comes back to you. And the raise will come with more hours, maybe more responsibilities. And then you're looking at the children as well. For those of you that have children, because I've got four. And you begin to think that there are moments in their life that you are just not there. You want to be there, but obviously, oh, the clinic is fully booked, so you can't take it off. This is where all these compounding things were where I was. And I know most of you watching this are there right now. So that's why I created the Wealth Beyond Walls system. And this is a system that helps healthcare professionals add an extra 10K a month to their regular income without leaving their current roles, booking extra shifts, or having the extra cost from setting up a practice. Now, this system is in 3 steps. Okay. So, when you're doing a business and there's no excitement, you're not in alignment with what you believe, when you close your eyes and you see that dream life, but what you're doing has no alignment to what you really want to be doing, that's where the align comes in, where you are establishing this online business, but it's an alignment to what excites you, what motivates you, your passion, but it's still profitable. Now, the next step in it, which is so important, is we don't want you to be when people have this amazing idea, maybe they have this amazing product, wonderful expertise that has been converted even into an offer, but no one sees it. That's where the Amplify comes into place. And it's there to position you in the presence of the right people so that the people that you are supposed to be serving can see what you have. They have a clear understanding of what you're offering and that they're ready to pay top dollar for it. Which lead us to the last part, which is acquire. Now, one thing I've seen in the coaching space is a lot of people have amazing offers. They're pretty excited about their offers. Okay. When you look at their post, it seems to be like a very big billboard, but there's no system in place to actually bring in these clients from just looking at something to actually being in the room and partaking of the transformation that you have to offer. This is where the last part of the framework, acquire, is super important. It's important because when it's connected correctly and the system is embedded in your practice, in your online profitable business, then you have a constant pipeline of these amazing clients that are there, excited, can't believe they found you, and they're getting this amazing transformation that you have to give them.
That's so good. I love that. There's three core pillars. Run me through them again. Core
Yes,
pillars.
align, amplify, and acquire.
Dr. Cosmos. That's amazing. The systems are everything, and they make things a lot clearer and easier and simpler. People who follow systems always get results, right? So talk to me about this. What are some of the things that you feel holds people back in your industry and in this process?
Okay, thank you so much. So there's so many things, and I'm honestly speaking, we could be here for so long, but I'm going to talk about the major things that I see with professionals as well. One major thing is a myth. They think, or some people think that, oh my God, I do not have so many followers online. How am I supposed to make it in this online space? And a little subset of that are going to be those that say, oh, I don't like Facebook. I don't like Instagram. I don't like people see my face. But that's why I love the amplify part of the framework, because we're able to work with you based on maybe you're introverted, or we come up with a system that feels very much aligned with you. You feel really comfortable. And when the Wealth Beyond Walls framework is in place, it's not about big following, it's about the right people seeing the right message that you're going to be releasing. And they begin to identify that, yes, I need that transformation that you have. So that's one major thing that I see. The other thing would be, okay, I'm so busy with life, I'm so busy working my shifts, I do not have time. And I was a victim of that time. I was speaking to someone the other day and I said to her, why didn't I sign up and start this ages ago? So the truth of the matter is, no one has time, but everyone has time. We make time for what is important. And until you even identify that you are important, the transformation that you need to bring into this coaching space is important, that there are clients that will never be better without your offer, then you won't make time and nothing changes. I like to use 5 years because 5 years for some people may be long, but I tell you something, 5 years is really short, but then it's short and long enough to make impact in your life. And I know the amount of transformation it has in my life and in the life of my clients. But the truth of the matter is, if you don't make time today, right now, this brings to mind even when I was speaking to a professional. She said she's been in the job for 5 years. Everything she thought that would happen in that job, nothing has happened. And if she looks at her life 5 years, nothing. And it's going to be the same for those of us, those of you that are listening right now. If you don't start making even tiny baby steps towards your dream life, towards the transformation that you can be bringing in another person's life, in 5 years later, you're going to see some podcast like this and you're thinking, oh my God, she said it then. So those are the two major things that I'd like to just share.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that, Dr. Cosmos, and I 100% agree. Tell me, what else holds people back, do you think?
Yes. So another thing I find holds people back is because the income that they are already receiving, though it may not be so much more than paying the bills and doing the regular, they're thinking if I cut down hours, it's going to affect my income, and then I may be worse off. And it's a big barrier, and it was a big barrier for me. But that's why in this Wealth Beyond Wall system, we have what we call the staircase resignation method, where what you are doing right now, you maintain what you're doing right now, and you're bringing in this extra. And then as that begins to grow, it's almost like a seesaw. So we start with our full time role and income is coming in. And then as your coaching business begins to rise. Then you drop 1 day, you drop 2 days. And I say this because I know there are a lot of healthcare professionals that we love what we do. I love what I do in the consult room. We don't want to leave it. Yes, some people after a while they may say, I don't want to be in the consulting room anymore. But the most important thing that I wanted to share in this segment is yes, you can still maintain that security of the income you get in your job while building this legacy business that is really aligned with your faith, with your passion and all. And then as that begins to take stance, you begin to drop off a little. Then another thing I would say as well is the mindset. So a lot of healthcare professionals say, "Oh my God, no, I don't like selling. I don't know how to sell." But can I shock you and say that anytime you see a patient, you're selling, you're coaching. And it's as simple as, why have you come to the clinic today? What is going on? Then you do the diagnostic test. Then you recommend medication. It's all coaching, it's all the selling process. So that's another thing that I know that holds healthcare professionals down. The final thing I want to share here is they think, I've always known to work for someone. Someone has the structure. They tell me what to do, when I should show up to work, when I'm supposed to have break, when I'm supposed to go on holiday. How do I then become my own boss and bring in this structure? Who's going to pay me even for this thing? Maybe it's working for her. It may not work for me, but that's why the system is there for you to follow the 3-step system. Get the offer that is in alignment. The amplify is just not even just all about visibility, but it's about the right message. And then you're bringing in these clients. So these are the few things that I know that really hold healthcare professionals back.
Dr. Cosmo, thank you so much for sharing all that. It makes so much sense what you're saying, and your system sounds totally amazing. So tell me this, what should people do next? How can they get to know you? What's the next steps?
Thank you so much, Matthew, for asking. And I'm super excited about the masterclass that is coming up. And in this masterclass, I'm going to be doing exclusive teaching in the 3-step framework. And this is what is going to help you as a healthcare professional establish that profitable online coaching business so that you can bring in that extra 10K a month in addition to your clinical salary without extra shifts or the cost of setting up your own practice. So, what do you need to do right now? You want to click the link below, somewhere around this post, and get registered. And I'd love to see you in the Zoom room. Now, I am hosting this amazing masterclass, but there's something super special that I'm doing, and that's in the VIP room. If you want to leave with clarity on the offer, you want to be in the VIP room where you can share these ideas with me, and I can, with my secret sauce, I'm able to say to you, this is where we need to start. And then we begin to build from there. And I know there's so many other questions, such as what do I price it? How does it happen? What platform? These are the kind of questions that you're able to ask, particular about your circumstance, maybe the kind of shift patterns you have. How would it work? You want to be in the VIP room. So when you click to register, on the next page, there will be that invitation to join me in a small group of people in the VIP room. The VIPs, very important people, very special people, they leave with extraordinary motivation, but more so, very clear. They're very clear on what they have to offer and they move quickly. I like to see in that Zoom room so that you get clear on your offer, you get clear on your message, and you know how you're attracting that extra 10K in addition to your clinical salary. All right. Thank you. Click the link and I'll see you in the VIP room.
Thank you so much, Dr. Cosmos. That's incredible. Guys, I encourage you to jump into this masterclass. It's going to be crazy. As Dr. Cosmos was saying, the magic is in the VIP room. Yes, you're going to have an incredible masterclass journey. You're going to learn so much about the system. but it's always those that take the extra care to invest in themselves and take the next steps that have truly awesome results.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Cosmo, for being part of this. We will talk to you again soon.
Oh, thank you so much, Matthew, for having me.